I'm excited to talk to you because you have this incredible EP that's out now. How do you tend to describe the sound of music you make? People surely put you in the box of just pop, but is there a way you describe your music?
Yeah, I do notice when I read people speaking on it, they always just say pop, but I definitely feel like it's pop with a blend of R&B. I definitely feel like there's the R&B influence in there. That's how I would describe it.
Who are some of the artists that influenced you when you were growing up?
Growing up, I mean, my whole life, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, they've all been just like such iconic artists. I would definitely say I listen to them a lot growing up. Current artists that I listen to that influence me quite a bit, I would say I love Snow Allegra, I love SZA. They're definitely always on my playlist.
Your EP, Pretty Girl Complex, is out now. What are some themes you explore on it?
Pretty Girl Complex, if you really listen to it closely, it really does kind of tell a story from start to finish. I feel like some of the concepts it talks a lot about self-worth. I feel like we talk a lot about, it takes a lot of I'm taking a lot of self-reflection on this EP, I feel like. And I think that overall it just is like reminding you to like hold your strength and to not settle. I think those are like some common themes throughout the whole project.
I'm excited to hear what kind of fan response you've already been receiving to this EP.
Yeah, well, in general, I think people were probably not having much of an expectation out of this project, to be honest with you, because most people were introduced to me from Shaw's to Sunset. And so that's kind of how they associate me. So I think now that I'm doing music, they probably don't think I'm taking it seriously, or that it's just kind of a fluke. And I understand that. I totally get it. It's like another reality star putting out a single. Like, I get it, but I think the fact that I committed to putting together a whole project, which I think nowadays, whether or not putting a project makes sense early on in your music career is definitely a topic. But I did it anyways because I felt like, I really wanted to show, I didn't want to be like pinpointed as just one kind of sound, So I wanted to put out a project in the beginning where people can see like just there are different sounds on there. And I feel like everybody's kind of resonated with like a different record. And that lets me know that I really put together a very well-rounded project. And I think people are just surprised by it. I think people are just like, oh, wow. So she's really doing this. And okay, so, all her songs are a bit different. And I think that overall the reaction is just surprised that I'm really moving forward with it. And the fact that, everybody has a different favorite song. So I think, some songs that are really gaining traction. Baddies is definitely a popular one right now. I think like they're really loving the Baddies, and that
Summer
makes me
bop.
happy because it's some what?
It's a
It's a
summer
summer
bop.
vibe. Exactly. And it's perfect time for that one to come out. But when In My Bag came out, I feel like a lot of people really loved that one. And that came out prior to the whole EP. So yeah, everybody's, I really like Lucky. I don't know why nobody's giving Lucky as much love. I'm like, Lucky's a great track. Maybe they're just not pushing to the sixth track yet when they're
Yes.
listening, but I hope that
They haven't gotten to
time,
that one just yet.
I'm like, I didn't what'd you say? Yeah.
I just haven't gotten to that one
But
yet.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. I was like, it's on there at number 6, and it's not because it's my least favorite. It just made the most sense in the story of the track sequence. But I'm like, you gotta make it to the 6th track.
What is your songwriting process? Do you need to have a beat before you can craft your lyrics, or is there not one every single time that you do it the same way?
It's always different. It varies per producer that I work with. Half of the EP, I really came in, it was like the first half that I worked on, I really came in with like an idea. I really thought about like where I imagined the song to play, what kind of vibe I wanted it to be, what the lyrical content would be. I really had an idea because I was kind of trying to craft my catalog, in a certain way. And I noticed that if today I made a song that was very like, I don't know, like badass, like very in my bag, like, talking a lot of like all this confident jargon. The next song is like Waste of Time, very soft and vulnerable and sweet. I'm like, hey guys, I'm both. So it was like jumping from side to side. I wanted like all different facets. And but some songs, with other producers, it started as the beat, and then that's where then we created the concept and the lyrics from there. So it's always different, and there's really no like one way that I do it.
How hands are you then when it comes to the production side? You may have touched on it a little bit just now.
Oh, I'm very involved. I think my producers would prefer me to be less involved, to be honest. They'd be like, oh God, her feedback. No, I'm kidding. It's only because I care. But no, I'm very involved. I feel like over time I have because when I started, like I was working with really great producers and they'd been doing it for so long. So I just kind of like didn't have the confidence to speak up necessarily. I was like, oh, maybe they just know better than I do or something. But over time, the more I spend time in the studio, the more songs I make, I have really grown to trust my ear and speak up and like make the changes. Even if I suggest the change and they recommend that it's not going to sound good, I still need to hear it to be sure I've like been thorough and like turned over every leaf. So I'm very involved. I really want to make sure the music is very authentic to me and that it feels like me. Because once it's out forever. I mean, even Baddies, like I mastered that one twice. I mastered the song twice, and then I posted and uploaded the whole project. And I wasn't sure about it. I was listening to my car. I was like, it sounds a little static here. I'm not sure. Am I right or wrong? Had a few of my friends listen to it, and then they picked the other master. So I took the whole project down, re-uploaded it. Like I'm just to the last second, I'm like very much like if they send me the music, I sit with it for a few days and really make sure that my changes, I feel that way about them 3 days later. So I'm really, really involved in it. I really care.
You touched a bit on how Lucky is one of your favorites. Is that truly one that holds the biggest significance for you, or maybe one that's closest to your heart?
Um, you know, they're all special to me, but a few of them ring a little truer. I mean, In My Bag is very special to me because I love the Middle Eastern influence on the beat. I feel like if I had to pinpoint like an authentic, unique sound, I think that one would be like great for me. So that one's special because of that. I think it brings a little bit of my culture in, which is important. But Baddies is really important to me too because Baddies has my first feature with my girlfriend and very talented artist, Paula Dienda. And I grew up singing her songs in my bedroom in Indiana when I was like 16. So to now her be my first feature and it be a very authentic and genuine like collaboration because we are friends in real life and just it just made sense and it worked out perfectly. I love the fact that I was able to do that and with her. And then, Lucky, I love Lucky because if you really listen to the words versus the beat, it's like it's kind of a sad song. And it in comparison to this upbeat track, it's like I love the contrast between the two because if you're really listening, you get the message. And I think and honestly, I didn't want to put Lucky out because even though I loved it, I'm a very big believer on like the words you say and then like them manifesting. And in the song, I say something like, guess I'm unlucky or whatever, guess I'm not lucky. And if you're like singing that with passion, I was like, is that going to manifest in my life? I don't want that. But I was like, no, but the song is so good. I don't care. If my luck changes forever because I got to put the song out, maybe it's okay. I don't know.
What songs off of this EP are you looking forward to beginning to perform live?
Probably those, the In My Bag, Baddies, and Lucky. I think the beats are just amazing. I think if it's played live, it's hard to like stand still. I think it would be very, very hard for the crowd to just like watch me
Yeah,
and
right.
not move. So they're bops for sure.
Well, you're known for your epic performing outfits. What can fans expect from a live Sara Jeihooni performance?
I don't know. I'm still kind of crafting to see what that looks like exactly. To be honest, what would a Sara Jeihooni performance stage show look like? I have no idea. If I have to think quickly, I mean, I think the fashion would definitely be the focal point. because that's just me. I would definitely want to focus on that. It would be a centerpiece. If I think right now, I would probably think something that gives stage. It has to give stage. Like I would think probably like something sparkly and tight, or it would be something that's like very fashion forward for the fashion girlies that know. They're like, oh, she knows. Like I would
Well,
want their approval.
the
So
baddies got to come through, right?
they got to come through. Exactly. They have to come through. They have to serve.
Got this great EP out. What is it you hope lingers with people that listen to it as a whole? Is there a message or an emotion you'd like to leave them with, whether it's confidence or anything else you'd like them to have?
You know, when I think about how I want people to feel, I think overall, like I just want people to feel really good when they listen to my music. When I think about the titles I've chosen, the title of this project, the title of some of my songs, like, you know, Pretty Girl Complex, like In My Bag, Flex for You, Baddies. I mean, truly, it's not how I talk, to be honest with you, but I had in mind like the youth, right? I was thinking about like these titles that resonate with, you know, young girls that are viral and that people understand what they represent. So they were very intentional. um what why I picked them, I was thinking about the fact that, like, you know, these are the kind of these are the things that they say and they understand that, but what they represent I do think is very authentic to me. And so overall, like the message I want people to think about is like, you know, to always like, you know, to understand your self-worth. These songs are not so for me, they're for every girl. You know, they're like talking about, you know, not giving your power to someone else, you know, remembering that you're, you know, the prize, your value. You're always like not settling in life, you know, just it's a lot of confidence and encouraging and strength kind of like conversations around it, each surrounded around each song.
I have to ask who you'd love to collaborate with on a song in the future.
Um, You know, it's hard to just say a name. But I think in general, I think what would be really nice, I have worked with some male artists, and I really love like the contrast in the vocals, and I love like the lyrically where the dynamics can go. So I really hope that maybe this year a goal of mine would be to have like a male collaborative a collaboration with somebody that either is like in hip hop or R&B. I think like that would just be so great. I'm manifesting that right now. By the end of the year, I would love one of those, you know, just something that really just like has that female male dynamic. And I think it would be great.
As someone who is a fan of Shaw's herself, and in my mind somewhere, I think Reza is like my best friend. You know,
All of our
he's like everyone's best friend.
how
Yes,
can Reza not, how can Reza not be your,
right.
oh man, I kind of miss him so in a while. Yeah.
I was gonna ask who you've kept in
Um,
touch with from your time on the show.
well, you know, there's been some interactions. I keep in touch with them a little bit on socials, some of them. I'm glad to see everybody's doing well. I see them around town sometimes. I literally just ran into Mike a week ago. I caught up with him for like 30 minutes coming out of the gym. So, you know, it's LA, the city's small. We run into each other. So, but I'm glad that everybody's like doing well and like, yeah, it makes me happy to see.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the incredible music that you make?
I would say thank you. I would say it really means a lot to me. And I'm very grateful. I would say they have great taste. I would remind them you have wonderful taste. And I would say, you know, I want to be your bestie. And I would also say to anybody that like has followed my journey over time from like up for a while now, I hope that when they see me pursuing music now and they see what I'm doing, I hope that it just encourages them to continue to reinvent themselves. You know, you evolve in life, you can be different things. You don't have to be one thing forever. You know what I mean? You have different stages and phases in your life. You grow up, grow out of things. And I hope it reminds them that, you know, you can pursue anything that fulfills you at whatever capacity, at whatever age. Like I hope that they're just reminded that like it's okay. You know what I mean? Like Just go for it. And that's what I hope that they take from my journey.